Religious leaders in Greenwood are calling for a 90-day ceasefire. Ministers say they want to end the gun violence. They're asking for time to intervene before another trigger is pulled. And tonight, only on Fox, we're talking to the president of the organization calling for change.
Fox Carolina's Brooklyn Cromer is back from Greenwood County. She's in our newsroom. You talked to that pastor earlier. Brooklyn, tell us more about the ceasefire and what this organization is hoping to accomplish here.
Well, this organization is asking for the immediate ceasefire from all gangs, territories, and communities as they work to come up with a plan to end violence. Now, they say their goal is to ease tensions and prevent another life from being lost.
We're asking for all of the violence to come to a complete stop.
Dr. Adrian Weidman is president of the Pastors and Ministers Fellowship of Greenwood.
We're trying to save our children. We're trying to save their crying mother, save their crying father. And if we can really get to the root of the problem, then we can solve the issues.
Dr. Weidman says recent homicides and violence in the community triggered spiritual leaders to come together and create a plan.
In the past month, mothers having to bury their child over senseless violence. And we may see it as senseless, but out there in those streets, that's a way of survival. And so we must come up with a plan.
Law enforcement officials are still investigating the unsolved deaths of 4 young men in Greenwood, all of them shot to death in the last year, 2 of them in the last month alone.
We've just been having some random shootings and random violence in Greenwood, and it's really hurt our churches, it really hurt our communities.
The organization, made up of pastors around Greenwood and surrounding areas, created the plan to help ease tensions within the community in hopes of preventing another senseless death.
If we can solve one, that'll help a mother sleep better at night. It won't bring a child back, but at least it'll help a mother sleep.
Dr. Weidman says they plan to work with law enforcement and members of the community to gain information about unsolved homicides and ways to prevent them in the future. He says they'll hold a spiritual summit focusing on single parents, their children, in poverty-stricken neighborhoods. And finally, they're calling for a 90-day ceasefire.
During these 90 days, we're going to talk with law enforcement. We're going to talk with people in the community. This is bigger than the church. This is bigger than the Pastors Ministers Fellowship. This fellowship is just used as a means to find the solution.
Dr. Weidman says they plan to work with law enforcement and council members there in Greenwood to help carry out this plan. Cody?
So, Brooklyn, which unsolved homicides prompted this plan and the call for this 90-day ceasefire?
Well, earlier this month, Zycavius Ramsey was gunned down, and just back in May, Cody Hawkins was shot and killed, and both men were in their early 20s. And last July, Quatavius Freeman and Tavarius Robinson were both killed within days of one another. Live in the newsroom, Brooklyn Cromer, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.